This is Andrew Khellah, and I'm with Andrew Anderson, a 20-plus year veteran in the professional wrestling world. Andrew,
thank you. Remind me of
that. And you know what? I just want to say congratulations are in order because you are now the owner of branching out of NWA. Check this out, Big Apple. And you could catch this show January 27th, Friday night in Hackensack. Where is it going to be? Hackensack High School. And we're going to put that graphic up. But I just want to say, now, how did this come to fruition? How did you acquire this promotion?
I was at the Cauliflower Alley for about 2-3 years. Everybody's been asking me. I wrestled for the NWA before. They kept asking me, maybe you're interested in working for the NWA or finding a promoter in the New York, New Jersey area who would be willing to run the tri-state area for the National Wrestling Alliance. They have all territories in Texas, and I work for the National Wrestling Alliance in Texas for Texoma and some other companies, and it's been a lot of fun. But really, there's nothing in New York. And Greg, my dad, for all intents and purposes, Greg Valentine. Say hello, Greg. And Greg has for years been a mainstay of the National Wrestling Alliance. So I asked him, what do you think I should do? I called up Gino Caruso from East Coast Pro Wrestling, where I got my start from. I asked him, and I asked a couple other promoters. I said, do you guys want to do the NWA? Do you guys want to go in on it? And nobody really wanted to really go in on it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do it myself. My partner, Ebenezer Baldwin Bowles from Arkansas, who runs the Indie Tribune magazine, and now it's an internet magazine. He decided to Bruce Starp contacted us. We went to Bruce afterwards and said, okay, we got somebody who's going to do it. He said, who? And we said, we're going to do it. And it's not going to be an everyday run promotion. It's not going to be a month to month. Right now it's going to be special. It's going to be 2, maybe 3 to 4 times a year. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it special for now. Showcase all the National Wrestling Alliance heavyweight champions at the time. Jack Stane was the heavyweight champion. He lost the belt to Tim Storm. I feuded with Tim Storm throughout the 2016 summer months for the North American heavyweight title, and that was pretty cool. And now Tim Storm is NWA heavyweight champion, and I'm going to be wrestling him a lot as one of the #1 contenders. And he's on the show along with the tag team champions, Matt Riviera and Rob Conway. Rob Conway, you probably remember him from WWE and La Resistance. Yep. So Rob Conway's been a former NWA heavyweight champion himself. Matt Riviera is a character unlike we haven't seen. He's a throwback. I've been called a throwback. Kevin Sullivan for years has been calling me a throwback. We're bringing old school, hard hitting wrestling. Noah's one of the partners in NWA Big Apple is James Beard, senior referee from WCW for many years and NWA. James Beard is vice president. He's also a partner with us on it, and he's the lead booker. So he's he makes all the booking decisions, and it's just I consulted James, and I said, let's keep it with NWA Borders tradition of hard hitting action, and we're having not that many cruiserweights and light heavyweights on the show, because if you go to the New York area, you go to all these other promotions. What do they showcase? They showcase all these high flyers. You got Evolve. You got every company like that. Everybody's a flip flopper, as I call them. They're doing all these high spots. They're doing all these. It's like Cirque du Soleil in the wrestling ring.
No ring psychology.
There's no ring psychology. There's no finishers anymore. Everybody's jumping out of a DDT and hitting them with a side Russian leg sweep, kicking out of that, hitting them with a Hurricane Rana, kicking out of that. It's like, you know what? False comeback is non-existent in cruiserweight division. I'm not knocking cruiserweights. They're phenomenal athletes, and we're going to have cruiserweights in NWA Big Apple. We are, but right now, I just want cruiserweights with psychology. I want to be able to tell a story. This is hard-hitting action, competition as we know it, and it's going to be wrestlers. When you get in the ring with us, when you see us walking down the street, when you see us in the arena, we're going to look like superheroes. When I walk into a building, I'm a wrestler. All right? It's just the way it used to be. You know what I'm saying? You want your heroes to be larger than life. You don't want them to look like the paper boy. So that's a quote from Gino Caruso, by the way. So. And
you mentioned Gino Caruso of ECPW, and he's your trainer. And how often do you wrestle for ECPW?
On a monthly basis. 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 times a month. You know, I mean,
The opening credits, you slapped the ever-loving piss out of somebody. Like, now, was that part of, the show, or what?
listen to me. If you piss me off, you're fucked. That's all I got to say. You know, that one thing. If you piss me off, you know, a beefcake.
What did the fans say? I'm just curious.
Huh?
What did that fan say to get slapped like that?
I don't know what the hell he said. It's just one of my moments, you know. So, but I've been told I have to curb that.
I hope you don't have a moment right now.
I have to curb that because I'm a promoter now. So, you know, I was actually informed that I cannot flip the bird. I stick my tongue out because I got to be proper. But you know what? Improper and me go together. So,
A lot of people don't know this also.
first on this.
That's fine. You could say whatever you want.
So,
So you were in the movie The Wrestler.
Yeah.
Who approached you for that, and how did that come about?
Gino called me up and said this Evan Ginsberg contacted Gino. He needed some people to come and audition for the movie The Wrestler. So myself, Pete Nixon, another wrestler, manager called the Creeper. We all went down, and we were there at the in Brooklyn for the audition with Necro Butcher, a bunch of other people, and we all read lines. I read lines for the role of Lex Lethal,
Right.
and everything it worked pretty cool. I mean, I got along great with Pete Bond. Pete Nixon was in the opening scenes in all his semi-nude glory, and. We did the movie, and I happened to get my Screen Actors Guild card from because I had lines. I actually auditioned from it myself, Paulie Normus, and a few other guys had lines, and Jimmy Powers, we auditioned for it, and I think Lloyd from the Samoans, and that was really cool. We actually had written lines for the movie, so it was different than everyone else. So a lot of people have gotten pissed at me because I've managed to take that and use that as a launching pad for a career which I thought was winding down at the time in 2008. I had a torn ACL. I was hurt. My back's killing me. My neck's killing me. I've been in the business for a long time at this point, and I figured, what the hell else is there to do? Well, I went I did the movie, and that skyrocketed me. I wound up getting endorsements, Skittles, Doritos, Campbell's Soup. It just worked out. Pharmaceutical commercials, print ads, and it was just small roles in indie movies and SAG movies, horror movies. I'm trying to think. The most recent one I just did was Sal Ranella's Good Friday, a mob comedy, and another movie called Fortress of Dumbbells by Dennis Marigliano. Yeah, so it was pretty cool, but a lot of people in the wrestling business have gotten pissed because, they bill me as being from the movie The Wrestler, But you know what? I say to them, if you don't like it and you don't like that I did that, fuck you, Fuck you. And if you don't like it, just go fuck yourself. So that's what I got to say about that. But, if...
A lot of people have a problem
because
with
jealousy, there are a lot of people that were in the movie. Why don't you go out and...
jealousy in the wrestling business?
Yes, okay, unheard of, right? Bruce, Beefcake.
Oh boy, he's getting buried tonight.
Oh yeah, you know what? He's a crybaby. He's saying, I technically retired him. I hurt his back in Miccosukee, Florida, so he just didn't want to work because he was going to collect disability. So the hell with him.
On a lighter note, give us one favorite rib or road story. I know you got to get out of here, but give us a good road story.
Good one. There was a wrestler, God rest his soul, manager called Johnny Diamond, and Gino used to wrestle, have his show called, his East Coast Pro Wrestling show in Lake Hiawatha was, you know what, if you keep putting that in my mouth again, I'm going to start fucking chewing on it. You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ, what the hell's with this guy? It's like, how do you like...
I want to hear the sound.
No, seriously. He had this place, Lake Hiawatha, where he has his wrestling school, but he used to run a really nice TV program out of it. It was like a little mini arena, and it was really cool. And this manager, Johnny Diamond, was just so fucking abrasive. So I figured, fuck him. I'm going to fucking do something to him. Well, there were a couple explosions down the road, and Gino decides to check the video camera footage for the security camera. And he says, what the fuck happened? The smoke alarms are going off and everything. Well, he caught on the video camera. He saw me running past with Johnny Diamond's suitcase into the street. Then all of a sudden, you followed by 2 or 3 big explosions, and then me coming back with a smoldering bag, running it back into the locker room when Johnny was done with his match. So from the gorilla position, came back, and that was one thing. So and the guy had a fit, and whole shit happened. Then another time, the famous, I was notorious with crazy glue. Anybody in a room would not want to room with me because they didn't know what the hell was going to go on. The Metal Maniac was rooming with me in Mississippi, and so was Doug DeVito, my manager. Well, the Metal Maniac, while he slept, I proceeded to glue everything in the room, from the shampoo, the handles on everything, the windowsills, everything, crazy glued everything in the room. Doug DeVito was sleeping with his hands behind his back. I crazy glued his fingers. So when he pulled his hand apart, his fingers were missing. It was just hysterical. So, and he was on a cot. So I glued his toes together. His feet were like this onto the cot, the metal end of the cot. And crazy glue works wonders with flesh and metal. So it was hysterical. But then my coup de grace was I crazy glued the locks and it locked myself out. And I locked them in. And they were up there with the van ready to go to the show, and they're wrestling at the Neshoba County Coliseum. They can't get the hell in. So they can't get out. We can't get in.
Folks, Hackensack High School, January 27th, Friday night, NWA.
NWA Big Apple.
NWA Big Apple.
January 27th. It's called Black, Blue, and Proud. February is Black History Month. This is the tail end of January, so we're celebrating Black History Month. Hackensack is predominantly a black audience, and blue is representing the New York City and Hackensack Widows and Orphans Fund. So blue. So we're trying to do with all the racial disharmony that's been going on between the police and minorities. We're trying to put everything together and make it one big happy situation there in Hackensack. And proud is because we're proud to be part of the National Wrestling Alliance and getting a great start in Hackensack. So how's that for hijinks?
Andrew, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
All right.
See you next time.